Hello and welcome to Web Manuals Tutorials. In this video I will be showing you how to correctly structure and prepare your Word document before importing it into Web Manuals. Preparing your Word document is an important step in the process, as it will save you a lot of time in the post-editing stage. Before we start, it is also important for me to point out that the user performing the import should have the correct level of access to the Web Manuals system, which means that the user needs to be either an editor or an admin. So let's start with the file format. So the file formats that are supported by this function are currently doc, so 2003 and older Word documents, and the newer docs. That would be 2007 and newer Word documents. Let's open our document to be imported and click on Save As to create a new identical document with a new name. This is mainly to avoid accidentally deleting the original file. Next, one of the most important things to consider when preparing your Word document is to set the correct title headings. So heading 1. This is the most important heading, as it will set the whole page structure of your document in Web Manuals. Heading 1 title will be the chapter name. So set this heading on the first page of each chapter. The first heading 1 will become chapter 1-0, for example, and the second heading 1 will become chapter 2-0. Next we have the headings 2, 3, etc. Using the other heading styles, we'll replace them as subpages to its preceding heading 1 chapter page. Until the next chapter starts, the next pages will become subpages to that chapter. If your Word document has an automatically generated table of contents, you will see the same table of contents in your Web Manuals document after it has been imported, provided all of your headings are set correctly in the Word document prior to import. So this is how the page structure could look like. And this is how the table of contents could look like after the import. Next, let's remove all numbers to avoid headings being numbered twice in Web Manuals. The Web Manuals import function does not need numbers and will automatically generate them for you. If Word is automatically generating heading numbers, right-click on the heading styles in the Styles box in Word, select Modify, and remove the numbering. This is also the time to remove any bolding, italics, or underlining and indenting that may have been applied to your headings. And this is also done by right-clicking on the heading styles in the Styles box in Word, select Modify, and remove this formatting. Any of these features, if needed, can be applied universally once the document has been imported to Web Manuals. It's also a great idea to clear up any extra spacing in the Word document before importing it, so you won't need to do this page by page after the import in Web Manuals. So here we're looking for any extra spacing between paragraphs. By clicking here on the paragraph sign, you can see the extra spaces. And in this case we have 3. There should only be one of these at the end of each paragraph to separate it from the others. To clear these spaces in Word, you can do a search and replace. The shortcut for search and replace in Windows is Ctrl-H. So here we're going to find an example of two instances where we have two paragraph signs. So we type in #p twice, #p, #p, and we replace it with one #p. So this means that any instances where we have two paragraphs, they will be replaced by one. We click on Replace All and OK. And we keep going until it has replaced them all. And now, as you can see, the spacing between the paragraphs is perfectly natural. So when importing the Word document to Web Manuals, you won't need to delete the spacing. The next step would be to replace any headers and footers, even text or content that serves as footers and headers. And finally, one other thing to consider is if you have a temporary revision section, it's a good idea to evaluate if this is really needed, as it will become more redundant now that you're using Web Manuals. So now our document is ready to be imported in Web Manuals. Thank you for watching and see you soon for more Web Manuals tutorials.